Talent Garden Milano, dove Frontiers Conferences e il consolato americano hanno organizzato questa conferenza a cui partecipa Betsy Hoover, la responsabile comunicazione della campagna elettorale 2012 del presidente Barack Obama. Ci parlerà di come cambiare la politica, di come è già cambiata la politica e di come invece c'è ancora molto da fare per quanto riguarda la comunicazione e l'engagement delle persone. Faremo due chiacchiere anche noi con lei.
Our first question is, how did you manage, if you did, your female activity, the sense of being a woman in this kind of activity? So, if you found any problems, any obstacles, maybe?
Yeah, I would love to say, no, there were no problems and this was easy, but it's not. It was challenging. There were lots of rooms that I was the only woman there, and lots of rooms where you have to be more outspoken than you might otherwise be to be heard and have that seat at the table. Ways I've kind of tried to deal with that. One, I hired a bunch of really strong and awesome women to try to help build our bench. And two is just to remember when you think about your own self-image and your own self-worth that you have every right to be there and you have a ton to bring to the table. And so approaching that with confidence was a key piece for me.
And for example, what is a suggestion you could give us, for example, to invite women who are too much confident behind their desks to come out and say, hey, we're here? Because the problem here is that there are a lot of people, a lot of women working in technology, but they're not visible.
Yep.
So what is a strategy to have them next to us and try together?
I think a lot of it is mentorship. And you can formalize that or not formalize that. I know of great mentor programs for women, but I also believe a lot in just championing the women around you. So I try to not go to a meeting without someone else with me, and if that can be a strong woman who's working for me, great. If there's someone working in a space and I know somebody else who's there, making that introduction to make sure that people have their champions around them and they have their team and they feel like they're not alone.
And when you started, I know you started with a no-profit organization and arrived within the USA election machine. So what was the thing that struck you more?
Do you mean which I like doing more or why I made the switch?
No, I mean, well, both things actually. And if you were afraid, maybe.
Sure. So the thing that made me make the switch was I loved Barack Obama. And was passionate about the fact that he started as a community organizer, and the fact that that person could be in the White House was awesome to me. So that was why I made the switch. It was never scary for me to transition, and that's my personal story, but mostly because I have always been surrounded by a great community of people, and I've had great bosses and great coworkers. I've been really fortunate in that way, and so I felt like I was doing what was the right thing for me to be doing and kind of following my heart along the way, and here we are.
Very last question. You talked about the importance of tools in your campaign, but you're not an engineer, so you did not materially construct this. Do you think you are a girl geek instead?
I hope so. I'm learning how to code, if that makes it more real that I'm a girl geek. I mean, one thing that I did find really important to just be taken seriously in this space was to at least learn how to speak the language of technology enough to say what I wanted. So even if I wasn't building it, I needed to be able to articulate what I wanted built, or what I needed, or what my program needed, and that required a level of technical expertise that I didn't have going into 2012, that I learned on the job, and that since then I am taking classes to learn how to code and learning how to do this stuff, because I think it's really, really important. So you don't have to, I don't think you have to know how to code to be a girl geek. But I think understanding it enough to be able to talk about it is helpful.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, Betsy.
Yeah, thank you. You guys are doing great.
Thank you. Bye.